So this guy wants to keep his VR30 reliable, and he sounds like he has a lot of parts on it. But let's read his message. Okay, so I bought the AMS race heat exchanger, some MBRP exhaust, resonator fold down pipe, a dual oil catch can, auxiliary coolant expansion tank, short open air intakes, and I'm tuning my car with race box, and I'm building a sound system in it with 215s and putting a lot of weight in my car. Do I have any honest opinion regarding maintenance on the car to keep it as reliable as possible? Because things are getting very expensive. And I agree, yes, things are getting very expensive. Now, you sound like you're trying to get the most amount of power from race box, and you're trying to be like a really fast Q and be reliable. Just keep in mind, I could give you a good maintenance schedule to keep things like good and flowing, but things can still break. When you begin to start pushing power, things can still break. So you got to be able to like understand that. Like, you could still even have a manufacturing defect or some sort of catastrophic problem could happen. All right, just understand that. But I'm going to continue with my maintenance recommendation and opinion on that. You sound very educated by the modifications that you have on this car. I will congratulate you with that. As you know, this is a twin turbocharged V6 that is direct injection. With that being said, it was very smart of you to do the oil catch can setup, because as you know, these cars, the intake valves kick up, and that could pretty much mess with efficiency over time. The oil catch can pretty much negates that and slows that process down. And it also, it also stops the oil from getting back into the turbo compressor inducer side on the passenger side of the car. So that's a good benefit that you did. Also, you did the good cooling mods to cool down the charge air temperature, so the turbocharger doesn't have to spin as fast, doesn't have to work as fast to compress, to put more air and oxygen inside of the engine. So that's another good thing you have going on. Now, I can give you my opinion on like a maintenance schedule, but here's the thing. It all depends on how you're driving and where you're driving. I'll give you an example. Say you have an open air filter, whatever air filter you have, right? And you drive on the beach a lot, right? Your air filter is sucking in a lot of sand. So I can't tell you to change your air filter every 10,000 miles. Because if you're sucking in all that sand, it's slowly getting past that air filter, getting to your compressor side. And that can create a bunch of different damage that we're not going to discuss in this video. But you can pretty much understand what I'm trying to say. But a good routine I'm seeing a lot of people do is change out their diff fluid, transfer case fluid around 30,000 miles or less. Don't listen to that BS Nissan is saying with the lifetime fluid. Oh my God. Any oil deteriorates over time. So you can't really believe what they're saying. Any oil that is going to deteriorate over time. Some oil might deteriorate slowly, some oil might deteriorate faster, but they're all going to lose its value over time, bro. Even though those fluids I just named just now are very important for somebody that is mainly pushing the car, like drag racing and doing pulls, launching the car, it's still good to do a drain and fill from time to time. It just, the interval just depends on how much you're driving is what I'm trying to say, and how hard you're driving. Everybody's interval is going to be different. Another thing, this is going to be with engine oil. Your car is a twin turbocharged V6 that is tuned, all right? I always say you got to maintain this car like a GTR or a Z32, other Nissan cars that are pretty much very similar to this platform. We have tiny turbochargers with tiny sensor housings that have very small clearances. And you want to make sure these pieces inside the turbocharger is lubricated and inside your engine is lubricated. Now, that is very important when it comes to getting the right oil. Your tuner might suggest putting like 5W40, 5W30, 0W20, 0W40, depending on your climate. The tuner is the one that's going to mainly tell you which oil to run, depending on your logs that you send them. Me personally, I'm gonna say, yo, get 5W30, get AMSOIL or AMSOIL, Valvoline VR1. You need an oil that evaporates less, an oil with a lower volatility rate, because any oil that has a higher volatility rate is gonna burn up faster. You don't want to have oil consumption in any sort of way. What that in turn does, if your oil is burning up faster, you're getting less lubrication on very important parts of your engine and turbocharger. This car is running very hot. You want to make sure everything is getting lubricated properly. So make sure you choose a good oil. Motor oil is even a good oil as well. And it's very important as it is to run a lower volatility oil that has the right viscosity for your climate and the tuner suggests. It is very important to run the right oil filter. I don't care what anybody says, the best oil filter for this twin turbo V6 is going to be the Nissan GTR oil filter or even the QX80 V8 oil filter. Yes, you could put that on your car. It has more filter material and it filters your oil way better than any sort of aftermarket material, and it has less defects and failure points. So don't run any garbage. Go with the bigger GTR oversized oil filter and add some more oil in, and that's it, bro. Before you even get tuned, I don't know if Racebox has his own blog or anything, but Sonic Tuned has his own blog where I feel like you should read every single thing he put. Every single thing, you should read it. Every single sentence you should read, especially if you're getting tuned. A lot of guys don't read this stuff. Even if it's from a different tuner, it's useful information for you to have, because you want to know something that's very powerful is the knowledge that you put in your brain on this platform. The more knowledge you have, the better you're going to be and the better your car is going to be. You don't even have to listen to me. You could do your own critical thinking and use my information that I'm giving you based off my opinion, that I'm someone that has a high mileage VR30. You can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying what worked out for me. Also, another thing, when you get EcuTech and your tuner has you doing logs, also make sure you look at your oil pressure. This is going to be something on, what is it, Sonic Tune's blog about the oil pressure thing. You should definitely take a look into that. When you're idling, it's at 20 psi, and then when you're at wide open throttle, you're going to be around 50 psi. It is recommended to either unplug the sensor for the oil pressure control solenoid. That's a variable controller for the amount of oil pressure. It is recommended. If it's stuck in one position, you could see a lack of lubrication and you could pretty much grenade your engine. That's why you see a lot of people grenade their engines. That's definitely something you want to look into, but if you want more information, definitely read into Sonic Tune's blog. I highly advise looking into Sonic Tune stuff, man. And finally, make sure you don't have any leaks. Like, even your oil catch can cause a boost leak. There's a bunch of different components in this car that can cause boost leaks, vacuum leaks. You don't want to have that. You don't want to have the car working harder. Also, with your breather system, you want to maintenance your breather system, like your PCV system. Definitely take a look into that. Make sure you're not getting too much negative crankcase pressure, not getting too much positive crankcase pressure, because crankcase pressure has been known on the newer Z platform and even our platform. It has been discovered to create a problem where oil is leaking past the turbine and the turbo because of crankcase pressure. Just Google that and you'll see what I mean. Another note, do an oil analysis like every 10,000 miles. You want to make sure your engine is running healthy. You're not putting in too much additive. You're not getting too much sodium or too much potassium. Sodium and potassium means you have coolant in your engine, just by the way. There's been two popular topics of why we have sodium in our engine, either porous block or the coolant galley plug on the top of the head underneath the valve cover on either side may leak. It might, you know, that's one of the reasons that we have coolant leaking down into our crankcase and then getting to our oil. But yeah, one of the things that is recommended to me by somebody that has a manual VR30, he told me that it's very good to add only a zinc additive. Some oils come with zinc additive already. You just want to make sure you're running a good amount of zinc additive, not too much, not too little, to add protection and lubrication to the metals of your engine. I'm not sure if I said this already, but definitely change your oil every 3,000 miles or less, like a GTR. Don't listen to anybody that's telling you 5,000 miles, 3,000 miles or less, all right? Now, I jumped around all over the place, but that's personally my opinion, the best way to maintenance a VR30, because you want to have a fun car and you want to be able to drive the car. It's more important to be able to drive the car than doing all these other mods and stuff, because how are you going to be able to enjoy the car if it's stuck and broken, bro? You know what I'm saying? But again, I hope you could use your own critical thinking based off what I said. You don't have to take what I say, in my opinion. But, you know, I hope this helps you in some sort of way. If you have any more questions, just comment down below. And have a great day. All right? Peace out.